Welcome back to guys. It's time for an anime review of a Netflix series that just released, and it's so good. Welcome once again to my channel, guys. It's gonna be on Blue Eye Samurai. I consider it anime. It is definitely up in the air. A lot of people might not consider it anime because it's not produced by Japanese producers per se. It is influenced by the Japanese anime culture and all that. So, and it is plays as anime when it comes to the actual episodes on Netflix, but that's always a debate amongst people. What is an anime? What is not an anime? I think if it's influence and if it's the whole purpose of it is to be like it, then at the very least we should consider it partially anime. So it is on Netflix. 8 episodes out, I believe. Pretty good series. I do highly recommend this one. Now, before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can also follow me on social media. If you're looking for more anime reviews, I do have Japanese anime reviews all over the place in this channel, so make sure you check those out. Yeah, give some love by commenting and let me know what else I should be watching and reviewing for you guys. Okay, so there's a lot of characters in the series itself, but for the most part, we follow the life of Misu, who is a female mixed race, blue eye, Japanese samurai, or she became a Japanese samurai, and essentially we see her past life. She was bullied. Her mother, although caring at some point, was also very much, she used her for a lot of stuff. Like she was not a good mom. But nonetheless, Misu still loved her mother and essentially is looking for revenge for not just for her being tortured and abused as a child, but also the fact that her mom is dead because of her mom trying to cover her up and trying to do the best for her, but at the same time abusing her. And she blames basically the Westerners who are in Japan. Now, it does take in a time of Japan's Edo time, and this is during the 17th century, which essentially during this time, their white people, anything that was Western was not allowed in Japan. Japan closed their borders, didn't want anything to do with the Western civilizations. So it takes time during this, and she essentially is taking vengeance against 4 white guys that are living in Japan. And the whole first one is her hunting down one. So this whole first season of 8 episodes is her just hunting one of them. There's so many things that happens, but essentially she eventually gets a kind of henchman that is with her and is not with her, back and forth. His name is Ringo. He doesn't have his hands, mainly a cook, but he wants to be a samurai as well. To protect him essentially and keep him alive, she kind of has him not be with her, but he always ends up going back eventually. There is Taijin, who is a swordsman, very arrogant. He got defeated by Misu in the beginning of the season, and basically at first is chasing her down to kill her. Then he wants to train with her, and then he ends up again wanting to kill her because she kept some secrets against him, and then he ends up fighting with her at the end. It's just back and forth, but essentially he is trying to marry the princess of the area, Akemi, and she basically has her own story of her own. Her dad basically wants her to marry the shonin's son and forget about the swordman that lost against this other samurai, who, by the way, no one knows that she's a girl. Everyone assumes that she's a guy. So Princess Akemi kind of runs away at one point and then comes back, and she kind of has this whole like she becomes a prostitute, but then she goes back because she realizes that she should probably just go to her pampered life. And then she struggles because the shonen's son is like weird and likes weird stuff, like having her teeth black and all that. So yeah, she herself has her own story. She also has a helper under her, Seki, who at first you kind of think he's a villain, but he really is there to give her advice and be really there for the best of her. Her father, jerk as he can be, that whole story of the princess has a great conclusion. I feel like out of all the stories, at the very least, that one concluded well. She does end up with the shonen's son, but she basically learns how to manipulate the son's mother, who's also kind of like a snake. Ends up basically above her father, and it's a good conclusion. I don't want to ruin too much, but there's a lot of sadness to it. People are killed, and there is like death around the whole thing and destruction, but pretty good conclusion. And then there's a whole different story going on in the background with another character called Mr. Fowler, who he is he's not the right hand of the shonen, but he's one of the councilmen, and he is helping a smuggler smuggle in guns, which are a big no-no in Japan, again, because that's a Western thing. And he essentially is helping this white dude get into power, have guns, and they're gonna overthrow the shogun, which basically is the big fight in the last two episodes, or in the last episode. And essentially the Blue Eye Samurai, we have the swordsman. I mean, they all go and defend the shogun, and it has a conclusion, and it's intense. Like, again, it's war. It is what it is. Yeah, some people die in a very satisfying way. Some people die in a very unfortunate way. It's just left and right. And you just gotta put it in perspective. They smuggled so many guns, and it's like a small army controlled by this white person, but they have guns against swords and arrows. So, you know, they do a lot of destruction at the end of the day. So, yeah, there's so much going on, but every episode is rewarding. I want to say each episode averages around 45, 42 minutes. There is some episodes that have longer duration to it, so that kind of was weird, just that some were longer than others. But 8 episodes, but really maybe 16 traditional anime episodes or more, to be honest. So yeah, it's a really, really good series. Follows basically the revenge of this Blue Eye Samurai. I will say there is mature content. There is gore. There is nudity. Quite a bit of action and stuff like that. So I will put it in the mature content area when it comes to an actual anime. The nudity is it's very much there, but it's also not like, you can tell that they didn't spend a lot of money in the nudity, which is a good thing. That wasn't the main aspect of the series. And there is sexual content here and there that is reaffirmed. And again, it actually is really in a good tasteful way, because it adds a lot to the characters, to how much the men and even the women were using this as a way to control their people. So just keep in mind that's all in there. There's a lot to this series. I didn't expect it to be so good. So personally, I'm going to put it at a high rating. If you watch my videos, you know I never go, I always stay between 5 and 8, right? Because that's most series are going to be there. This one deserves to be 8.5. I don't think it's epic like 9, but I do think it's really good for what it is. 8.5, I give it to it. It's really good. Go check it out on Netflix. 8 episodes. You won't regret it. So yeah, go check it out. Give it some love. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.